Trekkies and Trekkers, welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Arinda, and together with my lovely co-host Amanda Harper, we recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapping chronological following. We will approach each episode with humor and a feminine look. Today's recap is of the episode Angel 1. So, I welcome you, Amanda, again. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Nice to hear from you again. How are you?
We're good. We got some more snow again in New Brunswick, Canada. And as you figured out on my Twitter, I got my car fixed again yesterday. And what else did I do? Oh, and yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. So, today we going to recap the episode Angel 1. What is your first impression of it?
Well, it was a very interesting episode, especially when they were down on that planet. The planet run by women, and the men had to listen to the women instead of like that other episode where the men were like very bossy. Like the women in this planet were like very, very in power. Like the guards were women, and the men were like, I guess you could say subservient. I can't say the word. Subservient?
Yeah, and the men were a lot smaller than the female.
Oh, yeah. Like Trent, or whatever his name is, Trent. He was like really tiny compared to the mistress.
I must say, I thought he was very, well, I don't want to say comical, but he had a humoristic side of, he wanted to be like Riker.
Well, yeah, Riker was taller than him too, and he had some muscle to him.
Yeah, but I also mean, Riker had the side of Beata, and he was, well, I mean, Riker was Beata's favorite.
Yeah, she took a liking to him in this episode.
A little bit too much.
Yeah, way too much. And he had to, when he was meeting with her, he had to wear that really bizarre outfit that the men wore. Chest open and, well, I hate to say the pants. I didn't like the pants.
Yeah, and Troi and Tasha were so laughing. They couldn't understand why he was wearing that. And then he said, well, I wear this on this mission and I wore that on that mission. So you girls are just jealous because Beata is a beautiful and attractive woman.
And the fact is, normally it's on the show, the women end up wearing like almost cleavage showing outfits with short skirts. But reversal, this time it's the guys that are flashing the skin and wearing the tight pants.
What was in one way hilarious, but in other way, I can understand where the writers are coming from, because in that time it's just speaking out, and women have more empowerment than, I don't want to say than men, but they have more empowerment, they have more power moves to what they had in a long time. So yeah, in one way I can understand, but in one way, and I will go a little bit early now for my opinion about it, is that this episode, I think, was one of the less episodes that they have made. But I think the political issue in this episode is really big.
They're looking for survivors of the Odin, which happens to be Thor's father, when you think of it with Norse mythology. When I heard the word Odin, I'm like, oh, Norse mythology, Odin's the father to Thor and Loki. But the Odin, there's some survivors on Odin living on the planet who Bianca, if I remember that's her name, thinks they're a bunch of political dissidents, like troublemakers, basically.
Yeah, but I thought they would have really those prejudices about men. And you could see in all of it that they looked down on that, and you could see in the first conversation Beate had with the away team, that Counselor Troi and Tasha Yar spoke more than Riker would, and Riker had to show Beate that it can be equal. When he was, well, when she was on hitting on him and they were alone together, I was thinking, damn Riker, you're a player.
I'm thinking that I was going to say that myself, but I thought, oh, I shouldn't say that on the podcast that he's a player. But yeah, you're correct. You'll see how much of a player he is in the other episodes. He can be a bit of a player, but he's, you know.
You know who he reminds me of then? Like Captain Kirk.
Oh God, Kirk. Yes, he was a bit of a player himself.
He was really acting like that, and I was thinking, ew, why do we have to see this? Damn you, Riker. You have Troi.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got Troi. He doesn't need to be trying to hook up with anybody else.
But... And I wonder why. I understand it because it is like a diplomatic mission, and it's also go with the flow and the culture of the planet, Angel One. The weird thing also was that there was one of Beate's council in a way, and she was totally against the survivors of the Odin. She was, in one way, married to one of them.
Yes, that was Ariel. Ariel was actually married to one of the guys. The guy that looks like, I can't remember his name, but he looked like MacGyver, basically.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
The old mullet hairstyle. We all remember what that's like, having that hairstyle. The mullet. Yeah, he looked like MacGyver, and Ariel was secretly married to him. Mistress Bianca didn't have a darn clue right away.
So it was in one way also very weird that she appears in that group, and Beate was immediately bombarded her as a traitor. They never have seen the real thing, and you could see that at the end of the episode when Riker was trying to convince Beate and the other woman, look, there is an equality in men and women, and this is the other way you should be and can be. Well, I think in one way I think Ariel was changed by her husband and that group of survivors.
Yeah, and there was another part with Data and the whole computer thing that she's like, no man can figure out the computer. He's like, oh, I am no man, mistress. I'm no man, but I'm an android, but anatomically correct type deal.
Yeah, that was so funny. But there was also another thingy in the beginning of the episode when they asked Data for more information, and that was so funny when Riker said, "Okay, Data, that's enough," in a way, and Data Data just went on, and I was thinking at that moment we should call Data Mr. Facts, because he always know the facts about, and that is how he, and that was one thing I also was really laughing about, was when they went to the rooms on the planet, what they provide by Beate. He saw a little bottle of perfume, and he smelled on it, and
he sprayed himself.
Yeah, and he was asking Counselor Troi, what is this? And then she explained, and Tasha came, and also Riker, and they had to explain to him that perfume was more to excite you for a sexual encounter or whatever. And Data, like always, was so super interested in that part of why humans have that. Or why is there in the human way like perfume, and they use it to for more sexual encounters and moods. It was so funny to see him like And that's what I love about Data. In one
Yeah,
way,
and
he
then
knows everything, but in the other hand, he's like a little child that still have to have the need to experience and the curiosity of him.
yeah, and then the Trent guy, I think that's his name, Trent, with the little Trent guy, I forget, I think that's his name. He comes in after
Yeah,
him. He's like, "Oh, by the way, the mistress will see you now." And next thing you know, he goes to the table and just sprays himself down. He's
yeah.
like, "Yep,
I think he did that because he wants that effect on Beata.
yeah." I think he's interested in Bianca too.
I think it's like, yeah, like I said, she was attracted to Riker, and he was very annoyed and um jealous about that because he couldn't not get against Riker.
Like Riker is bigger than him, and Bianca is more interested in Riker because excuse me, the the fact that Riker is bigger than Trent, Bianca is more interested in him,
Well,
basically.
I don't think it's only not the that he
Anything.
Riker was larger, but I think because Riker is stronger and
Mm,
Riker was really in that way fighting in a sense against Beata to show her,
mm.
girl, there are strong men, and that was so funny. I'm going to get first to another part. So, Worf and Picard were working on the Enterprise,
Always.
and they Wesley and his friend came out, and Wesley threw
Well,
a snowball at Picard, not unintentionally. And there was a weird kind of
tension
conversation.
here.
I think with that point that Wesley came out to the holodeck, I think that the writers wanted to show people that Wesley isn't only studying but actually having fun as a teenager.
Well, yeah, he can't just be studying 24/7 and working like on the ship all the time. He's got to have some fun with his friends when he's not doing anything else. And I think that was a class thing too. It was like a trip to the holodeck for their class, I think.
Yeah,
And they went skiing, and then next thing you know, here comes a snowball smack right in Picard's face.
but
Which I gotta admit, getting a snowball in the face is not fun.
yeah, but I can't remember if this is in the episode as well. We know that point the virus is spreading, and but we don't know how the virus is exactly how it comes on the Enterprise.
Nope. How did it get on there? It's so bizarre. And people are getting infected, and I think Wesley and his friends were the first to get infected, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And Picard gets infected, and Beverly looks after him in his room, and then Worf, when he gets infected, he has sneezes.
Yeah,
Really
that was
big
the first
sneezes.
time he sneezes, and that was so cute.
And me and him have the same amount of loud sneezes, because when I sneeze and compared to his sneeze, we're both pretty loud. Like my sneezing is like, oh my god, just scares people when I sneeze. It's like a freight train. And if I don't have my allergy pills, I'm sneezing if I don't have them. And I just took the last one.
What really funny was is that Worf is always a character that's saying, and all Klingons say that Klingons will not be sick. We work, we go, and we do it like that. But Worf, at a point, and it was a point that Jodie LaForce had to say to him, report to sickbay. That was the point that Worf was acknowledging that he was sick. And that is something Worf or a Klingon not do easily.
No, Klingons are stubborn. If they're sick, they're stubborn. Basically, Klingons are stubborn at times.
Yeah,
Especially
they are.
anything. And when he was leaving, he sneezed, and then I almost said elevator. It's the shuttle, the the elevator thingy. I keep forgetting what it's called. Turbo lift. when he's in that, as soon as the doors close, you hear, achoo! And it just literally, it must have shook the ship. Because you can hear it reverberating through the turbo lift.
But it was beautiful is that he gave Geordi some little advice as well. And that is, I think this is one of the moments Worf was really vulnerable. And that you could see his human side.
Because he didn't want to go to sick bay. He wanted to stay until he was ready to drop dead, basically.
They always do that.
He's the type not to go for help in sick bay. He's stubborn. He's basically a Klingon warrior. They're stubborn to begin with, anyway.
Well, I do think Worf is becoming milder when he is getting older.
Well, when you do get older, you get milder.
So, Dr. Crusher had also get the holodeck as some kind of a quarantine deck because the whole ship was getting with the virus. It's like a pandemic on the ship.
Yeah, like it just spread like crazy. And it's one person to another. It's like Beverly when she was in Picard's bedroom in his main, I guess you can call it, apartment on the ship. She's like, what is that smell? Like she recognized the smell again, and she's like, that's how it travels. It's airborne. So yeah, that's how it was traveling.
And even Picard was super stubborn. It was that she was saying, okay, and now you're going to get into bed. And later on, she was checking on him. Did you notice that she had a regular tea thermos bottle that she wore? And I was thinking, do we have that in the 24th century still? I think it will be totally different.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it at the time until you mentioned it now. Yeah, it was like an old-fashioned thermos.
Yeah.
Like, keep hot things hot and cold things cold.
Like you take on camping.
Yeah, one of those camping thermos. They work wonders.
So
yeah,
when we go back to the planet, Data needed to get used to the library on the planet to see if he could find something and to make the Enterprise better or whatever it was. And Beate again was very judgmental about the man. And once again, Data said, excuse me, mistress, but I am an android. And yes, atomically I'm a man. And you saw them looking. All those women were looking at him. Ooh, okay, nice.
yeah. They're like, oh. Yeah, he may look skinny, but he is a strong boy.
Or maybe a little bit too pale. But okay, I think there was something Data needed to look for, and he needed. That was in order with the survivors of the Odin, and they have those the emblems from the Alliance. That they, from the alliance of being a part of Federation of Starfleet, and that little thingy, some of them kept it just because of a memory, and that was the thing. Yeah. I thought Data said if LaForce can scan the planet for it, we can find them.
Yeah, because the pins had a certain metal that the planet does not have, so it would have been easier to find them.
You know, this also remember from when Spock gave that jewel for Uhura in the J.J. Abrams movies, but that was radioactive, and that is how they could find Uhura.
Oh, okay. I just never got around to watching that one yet. Yeah, I know, I'm slow.
Let me see. I think that was the last. Yeah, that's the last one when they have the. Was that the last one? I'm going to check it for you. And um,
I think
that
I might have it
was.
on DVD.
Okay, yeah, because I. But
Oh, okay. But I think I do have it on DVD, I think. I have to go through my collection.
I think it's the. I think it's the last movie with Jalila, and that they crash down on the planet, and that they going to fly with
Oh, that one.
the Franklin.
Yes, I remember
So,
that one now. I saw that one.
yeah, and I think that was also the last one that they wrote very that Simon Peck had wrote the comical dialogues, and he also had a lot with Spock, but Bones and Spock also, and that's why I remember it. That was so super funny that Bones say, "Oh, you green folk, and you gave your girlfriend a radiation jewelry. How the heck? Why do you would you do that? Nice boyfriend, are you?"
Yeah, he always like Bones and Spock. He was always saying different names to him, like "you green-blooded Vulcan," whatever. And Bones was always like, "I'm a doctor, not an engineer. I'm a doctor, not a tailor." Like Bones would say stuff like that in the series.
Yeah, so that reminded me a lot of that clip with Spock and Bones. Trent, that small man, came to Beate to give her the present that Riker brought for her as a peacekeeping offer from Starfleet. And it was like a meditation stone, and
Oh yeah.
then they kissed, and
Mm-hmm.
Trent discovered that. And you could see that he really didn't like it.
Yeah, like the look on his face, he's like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like he's like, "Really?" Take look on his face, like he was shocked. You can tell.
Yeah, and after that, Data had found a way to find the survivors, and so I thought it was Tasha Yar who informed Riker, and Beate was seducing him and saying, "Well, can't they do it without you? I want you here." And that was the moment that they would make out and whatever else more. And I was really thinking, dude, why are you doing that? You're so unfaithful of Troi. The Enterprise beam, they await him over to the spot of where the survivors are, and there was a very contradicted conversation. With also, like I said, that man told Tasha, "We can come with you, and we won't come with you because we have families here. We have lived here for 8 years, and maybe they see us as fugitives, but we have also lived here, and they are not like what you say. They are not treating men equally. So that's why we are hiding."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Thanks to you, we're gonna have to go find somewhere else to live on this planet." Yeah, so they won't be found again.
There was a reason why Ariel was so against it, and but I think she knows as well that if Beate knew that she was having fallen in love with one of the men, that she would be executed too, and that all they will be executed. And that's why maybe she was so against it. And not only that, but yeah, it was like she was two persons in a way.
Basically, like two lifestyles. One with the mistress
Mm,
Bianca, and the one with her husband, which she was living a double life, basically.
yeah,
So. Yeah, she's basically living a double life between working for Mrs. Bianca and being married to the MacGyver lookalike, which I forget his name.
I don't know. It's just I think if you would put the situation of the survivors in our place, then I think we would do the same, because who doesn't want to be treated equally as... Then Beate found out there was a very weird conversation about getting the survivors back on the Enterprise, and well, Beate gave them one more chance, but they had to leave the planet, etc., etc. Dr. Crusher demanded that the away team stays down because of the virus on the Enterprise.
Yeah, and I think they also proceeded to send Data back to the Enterprise to help send them off to a different mission they were supposed to be at. And because Data, they say, is immune to the virus. But remember the Naked Now, the virus he caught there?
There was also a problem with the Romulan border, etc. That's why Data had to bring them back, of the Enterprise, back to the neutral zone.
Yeah, he had to do that, but he decided, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm sure they can hold off whatever's happening back there for a while until they can get there.
Well, it was just like he figured out how much time they still got, and so
yeah.
Dr. Crusher had still 48 minutes to solve the problem and get an antidote. Riker was very thankful that Data was following his order exactly how he put it.
Yeah, like he said we got 48 minutes for her to come up with the vaccine to the virus, and then he's like, oh wait, 47 minutes you guys got. So yeah, Data was basically saying, no, I'm going to wait here for her to do that, get the virus under control with the vaccine, and then we'll see what happens with your team, which they succeeded, of course. Yeah.
And of course, that was also the point that Riker was talking into the woman and prevent the execution of the survivors. And
yeah,
the last scene was about that Beate would let the survivors stay on Angel 1, but they will be exiled, so they have to go somewhere where it was really rough, and well, they could survive, but it would be not easy to live there. There was that the away team came back. There was an interaction between Riker and Data again, and Picard was in his chair, and so Riker asked, how's the captain? And Jean-Luc had a very raspy voice and said, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then set a course to that coordinates and engage. But he couldn't say engage. So
he couldn't say it. He was so raspy. It's like somebody with a really nasty case of bronchitis. And he's like, engage. And he couldn't say it. So Riker, with a smile on his face, he's like, engage. You got to do it.
Yeah, so that's the end of the episode. But it was quite entertaining. As you guys know, every episode will end with the rating, but also with a question. And this time Amanda was the one who would think of the question. So go ahead, Amanda. Well, I think everyone has a favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Or people don't like it, and they'll tell you probably the worst part of it. So
yeah, what was the best and what was the worst of the episode? That's a good answer. Question.
Yeah. Let's keep it that way. What's your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? So the next thing we still need to do is rating this episode.
Which I say is your turn this week because I rated it first last week.
I will give it a 7.
Yeah, I would say 7.5. Yeah, I'd say about the same.
I think that is that's a good rating for this episode. So, well, guys, I hope you liked it. And next episode we're gonna recap is 10010001. And if my memory is correct, that is the episode with the binary creatures that stole the Enterprise.
Yeah, it's basically these little people with these like big brains, basically, who are gonna do some update to the ship. And I think if I remember correctly, in part of the episode, Riker's in the holodeck with a woman in a red dress.
I don't know if that is the episode because you mean the red woman was in Paris and her name was Minuet, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of the episode.
Oh, it can be because I think what I remember of that part, and if you were talking with Minuet, is that Picard went visit Riker on the holodeck and he saw Paris and he was brought back to his childhood memories. And it was Riker's program because of the cafe, the jazz, etc. But it became also one of Picard's favorite because it's France, it's his hometown, and whatever else more.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the episode again to see if that's what it was.
I think we both need to do that.
Yeah, definitely gotta do that.
And unless we will watch it or on Monday or on the day that we are going to recording.
Yeah, I usually watch it the day of recording so I can remember.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, well, Amanda, do you still want to add something?
No, I don't think I need to add anything to this. Not to my knowledge.
Okay, good. Well, then, this is the end of this episode. I hope you guys like it, and, well, answer the question on the Facebook group and YouTube, of course. Tell us what you think about this episode. Not only the episode of what we're doing of the recap, but also, of course, about the episode we just saw and recapped. I think that's what I'm planning to do is looking if we can, on the day that we are recording on a Track Tuesday, if we can do some kind of a Zoom meeting in Facebook, on the Facebook group, so we can talk with each other about the episode before and make that as an episode. Maybe that's an idea to do.
Okay, that's a different way of doing it. Videoed.
Yeah, but I think it's just, it would be nice if you have more people in a group that actually talk about the episode what we just watched and gonna recap. Don't you think?
Okay, like you mean adding people into our group chat? Is that what you mean?
Not only as in a chat, but also like on Facebook you can put like a video room, and
okay.
I have no idea how much people can be in there, but if you put a time on and people are coming and joining it, you really can. It's like a Zoom meeting, but only not on Facebook.
Yeah, it's through Facebook. It's like the Zoom meeting, but it's through Facebook.
Yeah, so you have actually people who react on what we're talking about and on on what we recap. So I really like to do that. I don't know what your opinion about that is.
It'd be interesting to try one out.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. So I'm gonna take a date and see when we're going to do that or whatever. But I'm letting you guys know on the Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, you want to have more information and be more involved with this podcast, you can find us on Facebook under the Facebook group Girls Talking Track. And it's the same picture what we use on the podcast and on the YouTube channel, and so you will recognize if it is the right one. So yeah, I think it was a lovely conversation again, Amanda.
Yeah, same here.
And a great recap.
Yep.
I say for you people, have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good night. We will see you in about 2 weeks with a new recap. And live long and prosper.
Yeah, see you guys. Have fun. And yes, also live long and prosper.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode 100101. Ghost Talking Track is also to listen, follow, and subscribe on Anchor, Google Podcast, Spotify, the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment on this episode or talk with us about the Star Trek episode we just recapped, you can reach out on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel of Ghost Talking Track. We will see you in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper.